This video is sponsored by True Gold Republic, the precious metals experts. Talk to one of their experts today about diversifying your portfolio to help assure your future financial security. Find their contact information in the description below and pinned in our first comment. James Kaufman, World News Report today, May 20th, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen some activity around 2200, especially with Earth's electromagnetic field. This usually translates into a spike in our Schumann resonances. Let's take a look. Jumping over to our Schumann resonance, we see spiking going on from about 2130 to about 2300 UTC time. Obviously, this one spike is, well, off the charts at 105 hertz. You can also see the Geophone getting hit up here in pink. Now, this is by far not the only time we have seen the Schumann resonance spike today, but, ladies and gentlemen, it did spike off the charts. And you can see we're actually into the 21st, technically, UTC time, about an hour and 24 minutes in. We see some major activity on the 20th, i.e. today, centrally. We see action from about, I would say, 10 UTC time. That was actually active, yet not off the charts, till around 1700 UTC time, although this did go off the charts ending at 50 hertz. After that, we saw this very strong spike that we're talking about right now. These are all being caused by a lightning storm over this modeling station, like it or not, and the fact that we have no space weather, meaning our atmosphere is collapsed down to the D region. This is the lowest region of our atmosphere. These agitators used to bounce off the E1, F1, F2 layers much higher in the atmosphere and rebound and hit the monitors. And that's why each year we lose more atmosphere per the pole flip that's ongoing, or at least starting, and the spikes get stronger and stronger and stronger, over 200 hertz. Lately, again, before 2017, we never saw a spike over 37 hertz. I believe that's about when the poles legitimately started to flip. Now, these are our Geophone hourly strips, each cut up into 4 sections, 15 minutes each. The reason you see no Geophone activity here is because of the weather in the area. The Geophones are covered in snow. You're welcome to use my link in the description and look at the snow coverage in that area, or use windy.com and look at the snow accumulation around this modeling center. It's easy to deduct that these Geophones are covered in snow. Now, we got a little bit of activity out of the Geophones, even though they're covered in snow. Earlier today, we were hit hard. It picked up with our ULF and ELF sensors. Also picked up with our second SR frequency as it dips instead of spikes. And we've had the same thing happen more recently here. And we talked about, 1900. This is closer to 20 UTC time. Going into the next day, the 21st UTC time, which is about real time here. You can see the ELF and ULF noise monitors actually spiked hard. The Geophones are not spiking. Again, they are spiking, but not like they should. Again, I don't believe they're covered in snow. I can see via pictures in the area they're covered in snow. You also see the second SR frequency dip during that time. Another confirmation of a Schumann resonance spike bouncing off the lower part of the atmosphere, the D region. And yes, I'm going to prove it. Jumping over to Italy and our modeling station up here near Turin, we can see that the entire area is under really lightning and thunderstorms. And this particular modeling station is going to be right about here. And actually, when you run it backwards or forwards, you can see that this has been happening ongoingly for hours. It has dissipated, just like you see on the Schumann resonance charts, because the thunderstorms have moved on. That is the agitator. The problem is again, our shields have collapsed because they're not fighting off space weather. I will prove that to you as well. Over to Discover Real-Time Space Weather, our satellite, you can see that the shields have been down all day, and now that they're starting to fight off, somewhat of some solar activity, we don't see that Schumann resonance spike anymore. The shields have actually moved up from the D region into the E or F region when you see the blue here, period. Now, if you'll just do a little bit of work, now that I've given you the answers, you'll see that the D layer is the closest to Earth out of our ionosphere, which is collapsing. That always collapses per all the scientific papers I can find during a pole flip, down to about 99%, leaving only about, less than 1% of humanity alive. So you will never see the Schumann resonance spike up over 100 hertz. And I've been spot checking this for about 2 years now. When we have space weather, because the E and F layers all of a sudden perk up, think about them like a callus on your foot. The more you use it, the stronger or thicker it becomes. Although with the polar or magnetic polar flip, the F layer and E layer, which has the E1, E2, F1, F2 layers, pretty much dissipate unless they're trying to fight off space weather, i.e. the agitator lightning, you can see down here, is bouncing off the D layer and returning to hit the actual monitors or sensors at a much stronger and faster pace because they haven't traveled as far, period. Now, with that said, I don't want to take away from anyone thinking they're feeling this. There's a very good chance you are feeling this. If you look into the theory of everything, i.e. string theory, superstring theory, M theory, there's about 10 of them. They all concentrate on vibration frequency to determine what dimension you're in. I believe we're in the 4th dimension currently, which means we can see 3D, 2D, and 1D, if there was such thing. And just lately, they've claimed that gold can be 1D and graphite could be 1D. This I have trouble understanding because basically anything must have some sort of height to it, in my opinion, if it's there, right? But this is where we're at. Now, you're absolutely correct. Higher frequency, higher vibration means a higher dimension, but not in this instance. This means the poles are accelerating their flip, and we're getting beat up by the return of the agitator, in this instance lightning, to our geophones, and we're seeing higher frequencies and higher vibrations than we're used to. Now, I do realize that affects a lot of people, and a lot of people can sense that. I would love to know how it affects you and yours in the comments below. I want to say God bless each and every one of you guys. Remember, they're looking at 99.9% of humanity passing if the poles flip, i.e. all the atmosphere goes away for about 48 to 72 hours. Please share, subscribe, and always remember that anything's possible in bizarre world. God bless you all.